Okay, now we're on our last tube layer. You want to duplicate, adjust, blur, the Gaussian blur at 3. Change the original layer to Luminance Legacy to 46%. And you want to change the top layer to Screen. Now we've played with all our layers, and that's kind of what you want it to look like, and you can change the numbers and change the effects if you really want. Those are the ones that I used. Next we want to paste our main tube again, so it's going to look something like that. I used the wings on this tube to change it up a little bit. In order to do that, I need a copy special so that they're merged. Paste it on top and place her where you would like her. Go down to your wave layer, select all float and defloat. Invert, and of course delete. It's going to look something like that. With this one we are going to duplicate as well. Adjust, blur, Gaussian blur, 3. On the bottom tube we are going to add a drop shadow. So effects, 3D effects and drop shadow. The first one we're going to do is 2, 2, 75, and 5. And then you're going to do -2 and -2, 75, and 5. This is also on your preference. Let's go back down to the wave, select all float and defloat, and then go ahead and invert. And I delete on both layers, this top one and the blurred one, because it does tend to come out just a little bit. If you want to go through just for good measure and make sure it's deleted on all of them, you can do that so when we animate we don't have any issues with the white in the background or anything like that. On your top main tube layer, you're going to change that one to soft light at 100%. And it's just going to look kind of a little bit brighter than it did before. Next, we're going to add our text. So take your text tool and type out in all caps, "Love Me," in the same pink we used before, which was FE75B2. Type out "Love Me." I used impact in all caps, and you can make it as big as you need. It just all depends on what you're using. I'm going to make it 72 because then I can go and play with it if I really want to. Then I go to Image, Free Rotate. I rotate it left at 90 degrees. We're going to move it over, and obviously it's a little too big, and don't forget that we're going to add a border. So now I take my pick tool, and I kind of minimize it. I just kind of shrink it up and fit it into the spot that I've got. You can make it bigger, smaller, kind of however you want. That's about what I want mine to look like. Once you've got it, you can rasterize it, duplicate it, image mirror, image flip. And it's going to be in about the same place, and it should look right. Now on both of those text layers, you want to change the opacity down to 31%, so it's just really lightly there. On these layers I also added a glow, so I went to my plugins, the Eye Candy 4000, and I added a gradient glow. And this is optional, you don't have to do this. The settings I used were 3, 25, 100. When I went to choose the color, I did the thin, and I left it white, or you can do medium and white. I'm going to do the medium this time around. Make sure you do the same thing on both layers. Okay, once you've got that done, you're going to take your text tool again, this time in white. And the first time you're going to write out tender. And this is where I use the carpenter. You don't want it in all caps. Sorry about that. And I left it at 72. You're going to rotate this one the same. And I just placed it right on the edge of my Love Me text. I rasterized it. I went back to the gradient glow, but this time I did the gradient glow pink. So it looks like that. We're going to repeat this step, but we're going to type sweet this time. And when you rotate it, you want to rotate it right instead of left. Place it in about the same spot. Rasterize and make sure you add your glow if you choose to, or drop shadow or something to make it pop. And that's what we've got so far. Okay, the next step is going to be adding a border. So go down to your wave and select all float and defloat. Go back up to the top and create a new raster layer. Selections, modify, and select selection borders. I did mine at 4, and I did it on the inside. Now you want to create a gradient with the pink and the white. And I did 315 and 4 repeats. Then you just fill with your gradient. Deselect. Adjust. Add, remove noise. Add noise. And I did it at 25%. All that's left now is to add your name and your copyright. I'm going to do that, and then I'll get back with you and we'll start the animation process. Okay, I've added my copyright over here, and I've added my name over here. I also closed off the background layer because we're not going to need that. Okay, if you want to do the animation part, see the animation video that will be posted below this one. Thank you for trying this out, and I hope to see your results.